Deadpool. Spoiler time! So yeah, this video is going to contain spoilers for Deadpool, but the movie's been out for a couple days now. You've had the chance to see it. If you want to go ahead and see my spoiler-free Deadpool review, you can go check that out. I had a lot of fun making it. It's a little weird, yeah, but I made it at like 1 in the morning, so what do you want from me? I do feel like I have to touch on some of the stuff, though, that I talked about in that spoiler-free review, because it was a really vague review. They did the character of Deadpool absolute justice in this movie. I love the comedy in this movie. They broke the fourth wall. What I liked about the fourth wall breaking is that it wasn't, like, that wasn't their main source of comedy. They didn't rely on the fourth wall breaking to make the movie. And same with the pop culture references. When they did the pop culture references, they felt really natural. Like when Colossus has him chained up and he's carrying him back to that car, Deadpool whips out his knife and he goes, "You ever seen 127 Hours? Spoiler alert. Not everybody who has seen Deadpool is going to have seen 127 Hours. Most people know the premise, though. But that was like the perfect joke to fit in that situation. They didn't feel the need to reference Star Wars or reference Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or the Avengers if it didn't fit in the story. And Tim Miller, the director, I called him a random homeless guy in my other review. That's because this is the first movie that he's ever directed. But you cannot tell at all. This movie is really gritty, but it's also really stylized. Like at the beginning of the bridge scene when he's like, "Oh man, I only have 12 bullets. Well, let's see if you guys can count." And then he's shooting all these guys like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he'd like zoom in on the bullet, you know, and watch the bullet just like fly into the other guy. It's like stylistic things like that. It reminded me a lot of something that Matthew Vaughn would do. Which if Tim Miller didn't direct it, I'd probably say that Matthew Vaughn was a perfect choice to direct Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds was completely perfect in this movie. Totally shows that X-Men Origins wasn't his fault at all, and I loved how they poked fun at it too. He first gets his cancer and he's like, "Oh, it was just like a terrible nightmare." Then it zooms in on the little like Baraka Mortal Kombat Deadpool, and he's like, "Well, not quite as bad as that nightmare." Beginning credits were hilarious. I wasn't expecting that at all. It was just like, oh, there's a British villain, a CGI character, the love interest, the comedic relief, and Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I didn't think they were going to be that big in the movie, but they had a pretty substantial part, especially in the end. Negasonic Teenage Warhead was awesome. I do think there's one missed opportunity with a joke, because for the original actor they had playing Colossus in all the other X-Men movies, he didn't have a Russian accent, and now he does. I was totally expecting Deadpool to make some sort of reference to that, like, "Oh, you have a Russian accent now, that's weird." I don't know, I thought that would have been pretty funny. And usually when they tell the backstory like this, where it flashes between the present and the past, there's usually one story that I like more than the other. The only one I can think of where I like both stories is probably Batman Begins. But with this one, I was interested in both stories too. It was cool. The movie was really nicely paced. There was never a dull or boring moment in this movie. It was always moving. It was always funny. There was a lot of cool action in it. And one of my favorite moments in this movie actually was the post-credit scene. I figured there was just gonna be like some sort of throwaway joke like, "Hey, the movie's over, go home." And they basically did that, but the throwback to Ferris Bueller's Day Off just made it like so good. Comes out with the bathrobe and he's all, "You're still here? It's over. The movie's over. Go home." I was just like, that is amazing. This movie is honestly like a one-of-a-kind thing. Like, yeah, there have been other R-rated comic book movies in the past, but none of them quite like this. Although Deadpool is just a one-of-a-kind character, so I'm really glad that they just went all out with this movie. It's literally the Deadpool comics ported to the big screen. I love the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing a sequel, and I really want to see them try to tie Deadpool into the other X-Men movies, but I just don't know how that's going to happen because they're just so different. I mean, I can see other X-Men being in Deadpool's movies for sure, but Deadpool being in the main X-Men movies, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see that happen so badly. So what was your favorite joke in Deadpool? Comment down below. Tell me what that is. If you liked this video, you can click subscribe, check out some more of my other videos. But until next time, stay classy.